Early election fever has gripped both major parties ahead of a string of by-elections to be held across the country as soon as July. Wednesday's High Court ruling against Labour Senator Katy Gallagher triggered a Super Saturday of by-elections after 4 MPs resigned in response. Hours later, the Turnbull Government is building a stronger economy. Treasurer Scott Morrison said in Melbourne, spruiking the coalition's post-budget message, a stronger economy is what guarantees everything else. Labour MPs Justine Key, Susan Lamb and Josh Wilson as well as crossbench MP Rebecca Sharkey will all recontest their seats in the upcoming by-elections. The citizenship status of the 4 MPs shared similar doubts to those of Ms. Gallagher when they nominated to run for Parliament. West Australian Labour MP Tim Hammond resigned for family reasons, with Labour State Secretary Patrick Gorman likely to run instead. Despite Labour holding only a slim margin of 3.3% in Perth, the Liberals ruled out running any candidates in either of the 2 by-elections. We will not be distracted by Bill Shorten's duplicity and dishonesty. That has resulted in a number of by-elections being required across the country around 12 months from the next federal election. By contesting the Fremantle and Perth by-election, the Liberals' Twitter account tweeted on Saturday. Instead, they would direct their resources solely to the state by-election of Darling Range, prompted by the resignation of former MP Barry Urban. The Greens will run climate change policy expert and campaigner Caroline Perks in Perth. Meanwhile, the Liberals announced their candidate to contest the Northwest Tasmanian seat of Braden would be former MP Brett Whiteley. Mr. Whiteley previously held the seat from 2013 to 2016 before being unseated by Labour's Justine Key. Braden has been let down by the Labour member who hasn't been part of the government, and hasn't delivered anything tangible for the region, Mr. Whiteley said in a Tasmanian Liberals Facebook post. But the Nationals want their share of the action, too. Government Minister and Nationals MP Darren Chester told the ABC, 3-cornered contests in Labour seats were not unusual. I would like to see the Nationals have a crack at the seat of Braden, he said. I'm of the view that the Nationals need to contest new territory to win new seats. Rebecca Sharkey is facing a heavyweight challenger Georgina Downer. AAPHE said the coalition would be defying history by doing what no government has for over a century, to win a seat from the opposition during a by-election. Centre Alliance MP, formerly Nick Xenophon team, Rebecca Sharkey is seen as most at risk in her Adelaide seat of Mayo. Georgina Downer, daughter of one-time Liberal leader Alexander Downer, has nominated to run for the Liberals in the seat. As someone who grew up and spent the first 2 decades of her life in Mayo, was married in Mayo, and whose family have lived in the Adelaide Hills for over a century, I am coming home, she tweeted. In Susan Lamb's former seat of Longman, a Reach-Tell poll of 1,277 people commissioned by the Australia Institute highlighted of one nation's potential influence and impact on the result. The first poll since the High Court's Wednesday decision, it found the Liberals lead Labour 53 to 47% in 2-party, preferred terms in the seat. Executive Director of the Australia Institute Ben Oakwest said strong One Nation results in the poll show they could be the difference maker in the by-election. Their position on the 2 key tax issues of company tax cuts for big business and flat tax for high-income earners will be a major factor in the campaign, Mr. Oakwest said. AAAP